have to ask you, and I know this is a complicated thing to answer. You're watching that debate, that first debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. What are you seeing and what are you feeling?
Well, first, let me just say why this election is so important is because that is all at risk. Okay, so my goal is he will never step foot in the White House again. Winning an election is a decision. You make a decision to win, and then you make every decision in favor of winning. All I wanted was a better campaign because I did not see a campaign that would beat him. Lies, misrepresentation. People think the economy's better under him when Joe Biden produced 15 million jobs, and this guy has the worst job creation record since Herbert Hoover of any president. So that night, I was startled because I had never seen that. And people say, you must have seen it. No, I never saw that.
In other words, you'd never seen Joe Biden come up short like that?
Never. No, in fact, earlier in the day when I was with the members, they were like, oh, how's it going to be? Trump will be so awful. Yeah. I said, don't worry about it. Joe Biden's State of the Union is going to show up. It's going to be great. He had it down. He was going to do it. He felt great. And I had confidence in him. I didn't think it wouldn't be good. But anyway, and then that happened. And I think everybody was stunned. It was stunning.
You did something that I'll never forget. And there was a lot of noise, a lot of calls for Joe Biden to step down as a candidate. I was one of many who wrote a column saying that. Many politicians. You did something on July 10th. You came on Morning Joe, and you said this. It's up to the president if he is going to run. This is, by the way, this is when Joe Biden has already said, I'm staying in. It's up to the president if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short. He's beloved, he's respected, and people want him to make that decision. And then you went on to say, I want him to do whatever he decides to do, and that's the way it is. Whatever he decides, we go with. Now, I'm guessing you've read Machiavelli in your life, and even more than that.
You're just saying that because I'm Italian.
Yeah, yeah.
I got it.
But that way of putting things was, to give it a phrase from a certain book of yours, The Art of Power, and the language of power, that certain things are said and certain things are left unsaid. How much do you think through what you're going to say on a show like that? Because you knew damn well what you were doing.
When they asked that question...
You knew the question was coming.
I was hoping not. I was thinking I could talk my way through my 5 minutes and get out of there.
No such luck.
Yeah. No, and here's the thing. I've known Joe Biden for over 40 years, since I was chair of the California Democratic Party. And I love him so much. I think he's been really a fantastic president of the United States. So I really wanted him to make a decision of a better campaign because they were not facing the fact of what was happening. And I take some responsibility for the House. We couldn't see it go down the drain because Trump was going to be president and then he was going to take the House. Imagine how that would be. I mean, we don't have to imagine. We saw. The only thing he did when he had the Congress and the White House was to give a tax break that had 83% of benefits going to the top 1%, $2 trillion to the national debt. And that's all they did, and they wanted to get elected.
You were talking to one person. You were talking to Joe Biden in a certain kind of language. How would you describe that language? It was almost the way a mother or a father who is particularly good at being a parent tells a child who's already made a bad decision, I'm waiting for you to make a decision of a different sort. You're looking at me and waiting for this moment to pass.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of why you're even asking it, because you know I'm not going to answer it in the way that you want. I didn't plan to do that on the show.
It was improvised.
In fact, if I did, I probably would have worn a different suit or something because I didn't look too professional. But seriously, just a little background.
It was like
I've
you felt
never
his
been
pain.
that impressed with his political operation.
Biden's operation.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I just haven't been. They won the White House. Bravo. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So my concern was, this ain't happening. And we have to make a decision for this to happen. And the president has to make the decision for that to happen. So people were calling. I never called one person. I kept true to my word. Any conversation I had with it was just going to be with him. I never made one call to. They said I was burning up the lines. I was talking to Chuck. I didn't talk to Chuck at all.
Chuck Schumer.
Chuck at all. We didn't talk at all. I never called one person, but people were calling me saying that there was a challenge there. So there have to be a change in the leadership of the campaign, or what would come next. Let me just say, I won't say necessarily I knew what I was doing at that time. I knew what I was doing in the whole thing, not just that show.
And what was that?
That Donald Trump would never set foot in the White House again.
So former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi probably thought she was in for an easy ride when she went on the network, but not so fast. Host Katie Tur pulled her up and caused Pelosi to practically short-circuit. Have a look.
Created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine.
Yeah, take that, you right-wing MSNBC Trump apologists.